Welcome to the Silent Sports and Gaming channel. I'm Troy Westhead. Thank you once again for joining me for another edition of the Silent Sports video blog. This is episode 60, and today's date is September 29th, 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. Big sports weekend as we'll check on the baseball playoffs as baseball season about to wrap up. We'll give you a little update on both the AL and NL playoff picture. In the NBA, of course, I got my top 5 forwards. I give a list of who I think is the top 5 forwards in the NBA. As NBA's preseason also has started, so NBA season has started soon. And NFL Week 3 continues as I go through all my picks, talk about the bigger games for tomorrow, and look ahead to Monday night as well. And other than that, just touch on a little college football. 2 big games in college football today, 2 top 10 games, and of course the Ryder Cup in golf. I talk a little bit about that. Even though I don't really know a lot about the Ryder Cup, but anyway, let's go and get started. Of course, baseball season wraps up tomorrow, Sunday, as the playoff pictures start to get a little clearer. American League, I already know the matchups. Boston will face either the Yankees or the A's in that wild card, because they play in the wild card game Wednesday. Then they will go to Boston for best of 5 series in the ALDS. And the other matchup will be the defending champion Houston Astros will have home field against the Cleveland Indians. That should be an interesting series as well. I have a big preview show Tuesday, so I'll be on a lot. I'll be on today. Then I'll be on live on Monday for my Monday morning football hangover. And then Tuesday we have a blog, and Wednesday we have a blog as well for next Thursday night's game in the NFL between the Colts and the Patriots. So I'll be on a lot next week. But to finish in the American League, I don't know who. If I was against Boston, I guess that had to be the flavor. They had the best season. Probably going to make it to 110 wins. I think they won again last night. They played in the Yankees. Yankees beat them last night. I remember that. So it's still an awesome season for the Red Sox. And that'll be a preview possibly of the ALDS. In the National League, still a little bit muddy. You don't know who's going to make it yet. Well, we know who some of the teams are. The Braves, of course, won in the National League East, which I put on social media. That's my childhood team I grew up watching. So I'll be rooting for the Braves in the playoffs. Don't know who they play yet, though. The 2 National League Central teams are in Cubs and the Brewers. Cardinals hanging on by a thread. And in the West, you still got Colorado and the LA Dodgers fighting for a spot. I believe the Arizona Diamondbacks are eliminated now, officially. So, of course, one of those teams, Milwaukee or Chicago will win the Central, and Colorado or the Dodgers will win the West. And then you still got 3 of those teams fighting for one wild card spot. So that should be cleared up. Might be by the day. We'll see. A lot of teams playing. I think the Dodgers playing the Giants. I believe the Rockies are playing the Washington Nationals. And the Cardinals are playing the Cubs, so that's a direct impact. And the Cardinals lost last night, so they pretty much hanging by a thread. So we'll see how that turns out. Of course, 2 of those teams will be wildcard teams, and 2 of them will be division winners. And then, of course, if I do the math right, one of those teams will be left out of the playoffs altogether. So hopefully that'll clear up. We'll know by Tuesday that I have my big preview show on that. So let's move on to the NBA. Got my top 5 forwards here. Other than that, nothing else to really talk about. Jimmy Butler thing still manifesting. He definitely won out of Minnesota, so we'll see how that turns out. I know the biggest rumor I heard is Houston trying to get him, but they need a 3rd team to get involved, because Minnesota won a lot for him, and that's what's pretty much holding up. They would have traded him by now, but Minnesota want too much. At least that's what's being reported. So, but you know, it depends on where he goes. That might change the dynamic in the NBA. Especially if he stays out west to go to one of those, go to Houston. Like that'd be a big addition for the Rockets if they do get him. But Jimmy Butler's old school, so we'll see how it turns out. He wants to go to LA, to the Clippers specifically, or the Brooklyn Nets, or I think the other team was it was Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks I think was the other team. So we'll see how that turns out for him. But let's get into my top 5 forwards in the NBA. Of course, this list, the way the NBA is now, especially in the forwards, the center positions, pretty much positionless basketball. But this is sort of my opinion of who forwards, who's guards, and all that. Because the shooting guard list I did last week. So, alright, so let's go to number 5. Draymond Green, number 5. He makes my list. Of course, he ain't the biggest scorer, but he definitely impact on the Golden State Warriors. I think without him, they'd be more of an average team. He's the hardest of the team. He does the dirty work, rebounds, play good defense, runs the offense sometimes. He can score what he needs to, but he's more of a glue guy. But he's a big impact, so I had to put him in here at number 5. Number 4, Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors. Of course, he's a new Raptor. Of course, he forced his way out of San Antonio. But when he was healthy, some people say he was at least top 3 at the least players in the NBA. Kind of quiet demeanor, but he could score the basketball. He was the scoring force for the Spurs. A lot of people argue if he'd have been in that Spurs series the year before against the Golden State Warriors when he first got hurt, really hurt his ankle, turned his ankle up, and was out for the rest of that series. The Spurs was up 20 on the Warriors. The Warriors, of course, came back, won that game, and swept them. They get to the finals, but a lot of people say that he was a big impact. Maybe the Spurs could have challenged him, and maybe could have even won the series. Some people think. I don't think they would have won the series, but I think they would at least pushed it to maybe the 6 games, in my opinion. But anyway, Kawhi led a big impact, especially on the defensive side of the ball as well. A great defender, great wing defender. So he comes at number 4. A lot of people looking at the Raptors a little differently as well now with him on the team. Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. He's number 3. Greek freak, of course. Name always hard to pronounce. I'm starting to get it a lot better now. Just could do everything on the floor. Good defensive player. I'm basically 7 feet tall. Handle the basketball. Jump shot coming along a little bit better now. But he definitely can score. Definitely can play defense. Just all around freak. I guess that's why I call it the Greek freak. He comes at a number 3. Bucks. Been a little bit underachieving to me. I think, but in the East this year you got Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, probably the top 3. Milwaukee should be a strong 4 at least. If they're anything lower than that, that's why last year I said the same thing. I think they was a 6 seed. It should be higher than that. It should be at least top 4 at least in the East this year, especially now that Cleveland has took a big hit with LeBron going to the West. So we'll see. But if he could elevate them higher than that, he might be MVP this year. So that's something to look out for. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Of course, you could argue him being number 1, but you probably always know who number 1 is. But Durant, of course, can score anywhere on the floor. He's an underrated defensive player. Of course, he's a little sensitive. Every time somebody throw a little criticism at him, he always sort of go over the top a little bit about it. But it's like this week, somebody questioned his defense, and he had to clap back. But I kind of like that about him, though. He don't back down. So he comes at number 2. He's definitely probably one of the best scorers in NBA, not just in basketball today, but in NBA history. So he comes in at number 2. And number 1, of course, LeBron James, LA Lakers now. Just could do everything on the floor. I mean, he's the best player in the world, in my opinion, still, until further notice. Carried Cleveland for the last 4 years to the finals. Won just once, but definitely changed the dynamic of the game. Can handle the basketball, run the offense, could score. Underrated score. I think he's sort of an underrated scorer. He can shoot. His jump shot coming a long way. He's just all around great player. Can't deny it. Defense slipping a little bit in my opinion, maybe because he's getting a little older or whatever you want to call it. But he's still a decent defensive player as well. But he just impacts the game like nobody else does. No matter what team he goes on, he's a title contender. So gotta put him at number 1. So the recap: number 5, Draymond Green. So we got 2 Warriors on here. Draymond Green is one of them. Kawhi Leonard at number 4. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greek Freak, at number 3. Number 2, Kevin Durant, and number 1, LeBron James, best player in the NBA. Period. Until further notice. So like I said, 2 Warriors on the list. That's why I was like, well, should I put Draymond on here? But of course, like I said last week, speaking of Jimmy Butler, I think he's a top forward in this league. DeMar DeRozan deserves a little bit of credit as well. LaMarcus Aldridge, I consider him as a forward, probably more of a power forward, maybe center, you know. But we'll get into the centers next week, and that will conclude my my top 5 list for the NBA going into the season. So season I think started about 2 weeks from now, maybe 3 weeks from now. So just wanted to do a list. Okay, so we're gonna get into the NFL now. I gotta pull up my picks here. I want to thank everybody, of course, for supporting the channel. Sorry about that. I got my top 5 games here. Let's see. Pulling up my fantasy app. A lot of interesting games this week too. Last week I went 11-5, so that's a big improvement on what I did last week. The first 2 weeks I haven't done too good. First 3 weeks combined. I think week 1 I did decent. Then the last 2 weeks I think I was under 500. So 11-5, big improvement. It's only 15 games this week. 2 teams on the bye, which is Carolina and the Washington Redskins is on the bye as well. So 2 teams on the bye. And a exciting game Thursday night, Rams and Vikings. Didn't think it would turn out that way, but the Vikings fought back, but the Rams was just too much for them and won that game in a high scoring game, 38-31. Jared Goff lit the Vikings up. Vikings defense, probably the most disappointing units in the NFL right now. Not playing well at all. Speaking of fantasy, I had them on my fantasy team. I had to drop them because I was like, nah, I can't deal with this every week. So I picked up who played the 49ers this week. I picked that defense, the LA Chargers, which I'm always going to make a mistake on. Alright, but let's get to the picks. Bengals, Falcons, that's on my list for one of the biggest games of the week. Falcons 4-point favorites. Bengals 2-1. Falcons 1-2. You know, the Falcons look pretty good. A lot of experts still thinking they're going to do well this year. I'm not high on the Falcons like other people. I wasn't before the season, before all the injuries. They got a lot of injuries on defense. The defense is not that good at all. But I'm going to go with them to win this game. They're at home. Basically, if it was in Cincinnati, I probably would fit the Bengals. But I think the Falcons will win this game. I think they'll be able to score a little bit on the Bengals. And I don't know if the Bengals should be able to. I think it might turn out to be a shootout. I think the Falcons just have more firepower than the Bengals do. Joe Mixon being out is a factor. So I think the running game will be consistent. And Atlanta will win this game. Bills, Packers. I got Green Bay winning. They at home. Bills, big win last week against the Vikings. But I think that ends. I think they come back down to earth a little bit again. I think Aaron Rodgers have a monster game. At least I'm hoping so for fantasy. I'm going to throw that out there, but I think he will. Bills at 2-1. Of course, Packers 1s across the board. 1-1-1 with the tie. I think they get their second win. They win over Buffalo. This game made my list. Buccaneers Bears. This is a very interesting game. Of course, Buccaneers and Bears 2-1. Both a little bit surprising teams. People didn't expect them to do that well. I picked them to pick both to finish last in their divisions. Now I'm starting to really the Bears. I'm really impressed with because the Khalil Mack trade is paying dividends early. It's all about can Mr. Trubisky turn the corner and become a stronger quarterback. And for Tampa, of course, the dilemma with Jameis Winston. I don't think they still officially named the starter, but I think they're going to let Fitzpatrick start this game. But if he don't play well this game, the Buccaneers going to bye. I think Jameis will be back in the starting lineup when they come off the bye. But I got the Bears there at home, so I think they will force Fitzpatrick to too many mistakes. Just like last week, he made just too many mistakes in that Pittsburgh game. If he wouldn't have made those mistakes, they probably could have won. I think it'll be the sort of the same. I think the Bears will control the ball as well, and they'll win it at home. Lions, Cowboys. I got Detroit winning this game. Dallas, to me, just don't look that good. Just don't trust them. I think Detroit got that momentum against the Patriots last week. I think they carried that into this game. Don't see this being too close. I say at least 10 points. Lions win. Eagles and Titans. This is a tricky game because the Titans is a team I'm not high on. I've got them competing for a playoff spot, but they always when you think they are, this is the real Titans. Even last week when they won 9-6 against Jacksonville, like Titans, they had their backup. They got a lot of injuries as well, but Mariota is back in the lineup because Garrett is in the concussion protocol. And they at home, but I'm still gonna go with the Eagles, the defending champions. I think Carson Wentz started to get his legs back under him as well. I think he'll play a lot better than he did last week. And I think it'll be enough to beat Tennessee on the road. Texans and Colts. This is an interesting game. A big game for the Texans. They come in 0-3. Colts are 1-2. Basically, this is more like one of my stubborn picks. I picked the Texans to do well this year, and I'm still not giving up on it yet unless they lose this game. But I got them winning this game. Had to explain why or how. But like I said, just like the Vikings defense, the Texans defense has looked shaky. And they helped it. They got everybody back. So just puzzled at why they're struggling. But I'm going to go with the Texans to win the game. They're on the road though. And get their first win. They got to go over. They go 0-4. That's pretty much the ball game. That's it. Dolphins, Patriots. Got the Patriots winning there at home. This is one of my games that made the list. Patriots 6.5 favorites. That might be a little high. I think it might be closer than that. Like I said, like Miami, a lot of people dismiss the whole rest of the AFC East, but I did pick the Dolphins to finish second in the division because they got a veteran quarterback, Tannehill. He is who he is, but he's still a veteran. Bills and Jets started 2 rookies, so by default I put Miami second. But if they win this game, they'll definitely move up, and they'll definitely raise the eyebrow to me. I got them in my power rankings because they undefeated, but I really forced them in there. But we'll see. This will be a measurement game where they really are. Patriots always start off slow. This ain't nothing new, so I'm not worried about them. Even if they lose this game, I wouldn't be completely. I'd be more worried, but not like okay, they're not gonna make the playoffs type worry. So, but I got the Patriots winning this game, getting back on track, get their record even at 2-2. Brady had make a statement today. Well, tomorrow I should say. Jaguars, Jets. I got the Jags. Just think the defense will be too much for Sanjon, the rookie. Not too much else to say about that. Jaguars offense though a little bit shaky, but I think they'll do definitely enough to beat the Jets. Browns and Raiders. That's made my list here. Raiders 2.5 favorites. I'm going with the Browns here. I don't like the vibe of the Raiders. Just like how the Cowboys, I just don't like the vibe. I don't like the Raiders. They don't look good at all. 0-3. Browns of course 1-1. Raiders just don't look good to me. They show flashes of potential, but overall they just don't look good. I think the Browns defense would dictate this game and Baker Mayfield make enough plays. Browns win their first road game. We know the last time they won a road game. speaking of winning a game at all, because they won their first game last Thursday night. But I think they win this game. And who knows what the last time they won 2 in a row. That's why I'm sort of like nervous about this game, about the pick anyway. Like, you know, they winning 2 in a row might be asking too much, but I think they do it though. I think they go over there Oakland and win that game. Seahawks, Cardinals. Cardinals, again, another team that just don't look good at all. Seahawks turned it back around at home last week. I think they carry that momentum into this game. I think they win. Russell Wilson have a decent game, and the defense will step up as well. Seahawks in this one. Saints and Giants. This is a game because of the New York Giants. The market, you know, been pumping this game up. In the Saints, defense they look that well, so they think maybe the Giants, Odell Beckham can get in the end zone and all. But I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think the Saints make enough stops. I think it might be a high-scoring game though, potentially. But I think the Saints will score more. Of course, that's how you win, right? I think Drew Brees to continue his he having a monster season so far. Him and Michael Thomas. And this is the last game before they get Mark Ingram back. I think that's a big loss for them. I think that's why their offense been still pretty good. But I think Mark Ingram's more controlled offense, running the ball in between the tackles. So I think the Saints get it done and they win this game on the road. 49ers Chargers. You got the Chargers. The 49ers got a lot of injuries. Garoppolo's gone. He been gone. They got injuries all over the place. I think 49ers gonna have a tough year now. Jimmy Garoppolo sort of probably like made up for it, but now he's out. So Chargers win pretty easily, I think, and at home against the 49ers. Sunday night football, biggest rivalry in the NFL to me. Not just because I'm a Ravens fan, but Ravens Steelers again. Steelers 3-point favorites. The Steelers, that first half against Tampa Bay, they looked pretty decent, but in the second half, didn't look that great. Maybe this might be a little bit phantom here, but I'm gonna pick the Ravens to win on the road. I think Flacco will do just enough. Like I said, the running game been inconsistent to me for the Ravens offense, but other than that, the offense still coming along. The Steelers defense is bad, so I think the Ravens will score enough, and I think their defense will sort of force Pittsburgh into some mistakes, and they'll do enough on Sunday night and win that game. So I got the Ravens winning that one. And Monday night you got Chiefs Broncos. I'll talk more about that on my Monday morning football hangover, but I got the Chiefs winning the game though. Just put the pick out there, but I'll explain more about that game on Monday morning when I go live on YouTube. So that's it. That's been the week 3. No other stuff off for the NFL. Of course, only thing that's been talked about is that rule, the new quarterback rule, drive them to the ground and stuff. So we'll see if the NFL fix that. That's been a problem for the games. And the other big story is the Everson Griffin story with the Vikings. I still don't think he'll be back next week. They saying he's still being evaluated. But like I said, mental health is real. And that being said, I don't want to say this is an announcement because I'm still putting it together. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to have a separate YouTube channel. If you've been following me for a while, I've been talking about mental health, my own personal mental health for years. So I definitely want to do a channel just to talk about my struggles, what I deal with, and to try to help other people. So just look out for that. I'm trying to put it together sometime next month. So I make an official announcement when I put everything together. So, but that that's just hopefully he's okay, and he gets the help he needs so he can get back and playing football. The Vikings need him. I honestly think that's part of the reason why the Vikings are sort of, or defense is sort of, slacking a little bit. At least that's my opinion. So. But that'll do it. Wrap this up. College football today, 2 big games. Of course, the biggest game, Penn State, Ohio State, definitely have playoff implications. And another big game is Notre Dame, Stafford. So 2 big games that will impact college football tonight. So look out for those games. I know that the Ohio State Penn State game is at night. I think the Notre Dame game, I believe that's at night as well. Notre Dame Stafford. So check that if you're a big college football fan. They're the 2 biggest games of the weekend to look forward to. And a sneaky game, LSU Ole Miss. That's a little sneaky game as well. So check that out. And of course the Ryder Cup. Golf, of course, USA versus Europe. I know the Europeans was winning. USA got off to a strong start, but then the Europeans blew them out the water in the afternoon. And now they probably playing right now. So if you're a golf fan, definitely check that out. Tiger Woods, of course, playing in it as well. So check all that stuff out. We'll do a lot of videos today. I haven't been, like I said, I've been slacking on the videos, my video game playthroughs. A little bit of everything, a little bit of me being tired, work and everything else. So but I'm off for the next pretty much 36 hours, so I'm gonna try to do as many videos as I can. I'm gonna take a little nap actually once I finish this, and then I'm gonna go out later and come back home. Then I'm gonna put my head down and get some videos done. Spider-Man, of course. Mega Man 11 is coming. I already pre-ordered that, so probably try to do a video Monday at midnight. God of War still, even though I finished the story mode of the game, but still some little side stuff to do. I'll run you through that. Still Mega Man X3, I'm still putting that together. I wanted to have really pretty much the first part of that done before Mega Man 11, but it looks like that's not going to be done. So 20XX, still gonna play that at least until I beat it. I came close a couple of times, just couldn't finish it. And so many other projects. I mean, maybe I got too many at one time as well. That's part of the problem too. But just look out for that. I'll try to get a lot of videos done within the next day and a half or so. But that'll do it. Thank you so much for all the support. Like I said, on YouTube, PlayStation Network, Instagram and Facebook as well. I'm gonna post some stuff just to announce the video as well. So thanks so much for watching. I'm Troy West, said thank you for all the support. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you Monday. I'll be with you 4 days next week if you count Saturday. Monday, the Monday morning football hangover live. Tuesday, baseball playoff preview. Wednesday, of course, the Thursday night football edition of the blog. So 3 blogs, well 3 blogs this week, and my live, of course, Monday night football hangover. Monday football hangover, Monday morning football hangover. So I'll be on a lot next week. Alright, thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for all the support as always, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much. I'm Troy West saying thank you, and peace and love everyone. Thank you so much.